Welcome everybody to another episode of Unfiltered Gamers. I'm Della,
I'm mad curious.
and we are here talking the stuff about video games content creation that's totally unfiltered. And today is the day of reckoning. 0 hour has hit. Was actually hit last night. That TikTok is banned.
Were you like on a countdown?
And
were you watching the app as it closed down on
no,
your phone,
I was just
crying,
like,
sobbing?
me? No, because I've always been against TikTok since it like released way back. Because I'm like, they released all the information saying like they're taking information and distributing it to like all these foreign companies.
Oh, you're against it for like that reason?
Yeah, I was completely against it. I was like, I'm not doing this shit.
I just don't assume I have any privacy, so I wasn't really worried about it. They can fucking have my data, you know?
Yeah, so I never downloaded it. I never was on it. I've seen like videos. And I'm like, okay, it's pretty funny, and I've contemplated about it, but I'm the type of person that I go full send. If I say I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it. So have I been a people TikToks? Yes, I've been a part of people TikToks because I have a lot of content creator homies and they use it. But as of last night, TikTok is banned in the United States. Not only TikTok, but a little game called Marvel Snap is also banned because guess who owns it? The same company who owns TikTok.
That's
So
interesting.
they killed two birds with one stone.
They also
and
took down Lemonade, and I had just signed up for that as like the backup or whatever to have my name, like just to have my name. But it was like connected to TikTok, so it went to.
Dude,
but I don't really care about TikTok personally. Like, I think I'm scared of like the competition it's going to create throughout the industry. You know what I mean? Like more people come into YouTube. But it could also mean more eyes. I don't know. I never really used TikTok. I have like 5 accounts, and I would like try different ideas, and none of them went how I wanted. And I just don't like short form. Like, I don't really watch it. I don't consume it. It's not for me. Like, I like really long form, like we're doing now. Like, I like talking. I like having a conversation.
yeah.
So.
The thing is with TikTok, it had a lot of problems. Like there was that issue where they outwardly just said like, we want to suppress people who are ugly and poor on our platform.
Stop!
Because,
did they really? Did they really?
Yeah, I was like, what happened to her? What's going on? What did your shirt say? Batman? Wait, we got to talk about your shirt because I was looking at it and I was just show us your shirt. Show us your shirt. Show us your shirt. Show us your shirt. Oh my god!
This is your fault. This is your fault.
She put it on the shirt.
You got me the costume, and they were obsessed with it. They were like, Batman. This is your fault.
I love the chaos I cause. Oh my god.
They love it.
But going back to it, yeah, so there was this whole thing where people found out that if they were suppressing people who are ugly and poor to not be like upfront on their platform, like the algorithm would like suppress their content because they didn't want that. And like it was even for disabled people too. And when they looked into like when they like questioned about it, they were just like, oh, well, they didn't deny it.
Oh well.
You know, companies. You know, the company kind of goes like, this is not true. Our algorithm works in a certain way. It's not suppressing any of these people. We take this very seriously.
They were like, no, you guys are fucking ugly. Get out of here.
They just kind of skated around it. I got to find the exact quote, but like they kind of skated around the whole thing. It was just like, meh.
That's crazy.
Our algorithm is set up the way it is. So that was another problem. Also, TikTok was also like taking a lot of people's information and selling it to other companies and foreign companies.
I mean, what kind of data? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like all of our data is already sold. Like, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, but I care if only one person is doing it. And that's good old-fashioned USA.
Oh,
I'm all right with the American people stealing my information and giving away, not these damn foreigners.
I mean, what are they going to do with it? Different than us. It's just companies, right? It's just people trying to make money.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm not, like, what are they going to do with it? Like, try to sell me shit? Oh, no. Like,
yeah. So it was just funny seeing like, well, it wasn't funny. Well, I could kind of sympathize, but then I can't because I'm I guess that's the old man in me. But all these people on TikTok, like, crying.
Well, the thing that annoys me the most is that the government's telling us what to do. That's about as political as I'm going to get. But, like, I don't like being told what to do. That makes me upset, personally.
What? Did you hear how like the people like they were asking questions like, can it is TikTok using like your camera to read your facial expressions?
Probably
Like,
every app. I
can
just
can
assume.
it can it tell when your pupils are dilated and all that stuff? Like, they want to know. Like, our government want to know, is the app doing that?
Probably.
So this whole thing with
Does it
TikTok,
matter though? Like, what's the loss for you as like a person when that happens? Like, I mean, don't use
it doesn't.
apps if you don't want. Like, don't have a smartphone if you don't want that happening. But like, who
Yeah,
cares?
but that's the
You know what I
government.
mean?
That's the our government. At the end of the day, it's like this: the U.S. government likes to have control,
Yeah.
and it wants to have control of things, as we saw with when Elon Musk bought Twitter, when the Senate or the House, whatever you want to call it, they brought all these former Twitter employees up front and like question them. They ask questions. Did you suppress information from doctors in regards to COVID? And they kind of were like, oh, well, we did what was best. No, you suppress information from licensed and professional doctors for what? A political gain.
Oh yeah, the political games with media is a whole crazy thing for sure.
So here you have TikTok. TikTok is a lot of, I'm going to tell you this. TikTok just shows us who the stupid people really are.
You think?
Because that's what that shit did. It showed me a lot of how dumb people are. And
people just said anything. It just because the algorithm, it's so fast and the algorithm was so crazy. Like, it just would feed you anything. Because like Twitter, I feel like kind of gives you what you like. But TikTok, I feel like would just give people a little bit of everything. Anything that would capture their attention a little bit more so. I don't know. I feel like it was the wildest algorithm. And because it was so fast, people got just all sorts of rabbit holes.
And during the stuff with Palestine and Israel, we saw a lot of content coming from both sides, and it became like a media war.
I'll be honest, I like muted that stuff so quick. I don't
know. Dude, it was
crazy.
About
it. Like,
it was crazy.
I stayed the hell out. Like, anytime there's like a war of any sort, I'm like, mute every word.
Dude, it was crazy. It was just like people in Israel who were like suffering from who were Palestinian, and like Gaza, they were showing like all that stuff. So it's like unfiltered media going to people overseas, and we're just like, holy shit, this is bad. So here you have this platform that's unfiltered, and just showing you everything you need to know, don't know, or people doing stupid stuff to get famous.
I did hear that there were people like making videos on either side and stuff like on there, which is interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't really look at anything, but I heard that.
So it became this whole thing, and also it's banned in China. The people who made it banned it in their own country.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, TikTok is banned in China.
Huh. Interesting.
So
now everybody's on that new one that isn't banned in China, yeah? Red Note?
Yeah, and guess what they're doing? The Chinese are doing.
There's gotta be like a Red Scare joke in there somewhere, right?
No, so here's the thing. I mean, it kind of is, because all that app, I think, is like called Red Note or something.
Yeah, right? It just, my brain went like Red Scare. I don't.
Why do you go Red Scare? Are you are you a communist?
That's just where my brain went. Red Note, Red Scare, government. I don't know. It's just my brain. It's just my brain did that.
So now, people who are refugees of TikTok are going to that app, and they're being met with mass homophobia, mass racism, and they get banned. So, bro, they have been banning gay content creators left and right. If you're a gay content creator, like, get that shit out of here.
What did they think
if you're black, they're under the comments, they're out there calling black people the N-word, monkeys, race. Bro, it is crazy. They're banned, and then you can't talk.
Are you on Red Note then?
I should go just for fun.
Oh,
but it's funny too that they're selling Americans these, like, the gullible Americans, this whole thing where in China it's so great, we own our houses and all this stuff, and it's like it's the best country to live in. Does China have better things than America? Yes, but is it better and more?
So
is it better than America?
Is it now going to be, instead of Americans being like, I gotta move to Canada, because now Canada is like all fucked up. They're gonna be like, yo, I gotta move to China.
They're like, you're telling me that in China I could own my own home and not live paycheck to paycheck? Is that what you're telling me? Are you telling me we're so behind? I'm like, you guys are idiots, and this is why TikTok got taken down, because you guys believe anything you fucking see on the internet,
But it
and
like
that's
did
rule
the
number one
opposite
of the
effect.
internet.
They have to know that's what would happen. So I feel like it could happen tomorrow. Trump's gonna come in and be like, "Yo, bring it back. I've saved TikTok." I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah,
game
but
they're playing, but there's a game that's being played.
yeah, because he was the one who started the ban back in 2020, and the current the current registration. What do you call it? Fuck, I forgot the word. It's an R word. See, I'm dumb today. The current administration. I'm sorry. The current administration had 4 years to fucking stop it, but they were busy doing whatever other nonsense. So now he's back and he's gonna like, I'm gonna save TikTok and I'm Donald Trump, and everybody's gonna like me. So here's my question to all you people who hate Donald Trump: if he saves TikTok, are you gonna like him, or are you gonna continue to use the app that
Which
he
is why
saved?
it would be kind of interesting, right? If he does it, I feel like that could be the game. I feel
Yeah,
like it could be
because
the game.
he started the ban.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one who said it 2020.
Mm-hmm.
The current administration didn't do shit for the 4 years to try to stop the ban. He comes back. He goes, I want to give it back to the people because the people need the TikTok.
Long
You're gonna love me.
game. That long game of like creating the problem to make yourself the hero.
Yeah. So
I love it so much.
we'll see, but I can't believe they banned Marvel Snap. I was kind of like, aside of me, was kind of happy because that game was the bane of my existence. But I was like, it's kind of fucked up because I know a lot of people who are like huge content creators on Marvel Snap, and was like, they like all the content is based on Marvel Snap. Now it's banned. So it's like, that's kind of fucked up. Like,
and then people had like full livings on TikTok. Like those are the people I do feel bad for that like really were doing well and just now they're fucked up.
yeah, they were making money. There's some people making yearly salaries.
Because people yell like, "Oh, you should
months.
diversify. You should diversify." But like when you really think about it and you look at all the different unique perspectives, like I saw one on Twitter because I get a little bit of short form on my Twitter. Of a teacher who was like, I made like 100 grand last year, you know, and she's like, this was my little side hustle and it makes far more than I make as a teacher. And now, you know, I've got to cut back again. She was like, I got to travel, do all this stuff. So I thought that was intriguing. Like it wasn't just like, you know, what people picture, like, oh my gosh, it's a influencer, you know what I mean? It's people who were like teaching people stuff or doing cool, like there is a value there, even if it wasn't for me.
Yeah,
like
there's
a lot there, you know.
But what the American government can't control, the American government doesn't like.
And that's why I'm surprised if they were gonna ban it, they didn't have like a switch like really quickly. Like they didn't have something like obviously all of our, you know, platforms have short form, but none of them are built like TikTok. You'd think they would have just had a competitor built ready to go. You know what I mean? Like think about all the Twitter competitors that have popped out of the woodwork, Threads, Blue Sky, all this stuff. Like why didn't they have a competitor ready to go? It's just weird, right?
I think now Instagram is trying to copy it, but the thing is, Instagram is owned by Meta
and it just
Facebook.
doesn't work as well. People don't like it. It doesn't work this way.
So I am on the side of social media should not be something that is kind of controlled by any political party.
Right.
It shouldn't.
Yep.
Because it's very dishonest, and I've even had conversations with people on some of your Twitter threads saying like, oh, that's not true, that it wasn't. And when I sent them videos showing like, here is the proof that it was more left leaning, and people were being paid to silence certain things during COVID, they kind of just was like,
if they agree with it, they're fine with it, right? It's the whole thing. Whereas, you know, me, I'm with you. I'm like, let's not silence either side. You know what I mean? Let the free thought roam.
Yeah, and it's up. And you remember the number one rule of the internet is do not believe everything you see on the internet. Don't believe everything.
Believe
if I
very
told
few
you
things. Be honest.
If I told you that there's a new Xbox coming out next year, I have all the proof. If you believe me, something's wrong with you.
You could easily do that too. You could easily set up some fake websites, some fake profiles, a ton of bots. You could we could do this if we really wanted to prove a point at some point. Just like make whole like campaigns for stuff that doesn't exist just to prove how messed up the internet is.
Yeah, and now with AI, have you seen like the AI history facts?
No.
Like, you know, I came from space. You know, black people were the first people on Earth and we came from a space.
Oh right,
Like we're
yeah,
an
yeah,
ancient civilization,
yeah,
and
yeah,
we built the pyramids. You know
yeah,
that? I
yeah, yeah.
did that.
Yeah, you did that. That
Yeah,
was you.
that's my people.
No, that was literally you.
It was me.
Yeah.
There's a whole freaking documentary on it.
Yep. And you were there.
I was there. I was first. And this is how dumb AI has made us because you see the AI stuff and people go, "This is real. This has to be real, bro." Yeah,
And that's why like
it's
the age of too much, like the age of over information, that's what we've been in. And I hope that I know that people are thinking through like how do we make it the age of like actual curated, better flow of information. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
that
So
requires like a trust with like smaller groups and such.
yeah, so as of now, TikTok is banned. A lot of people are freaking out. A lot of content creators are freaking out. The younger ones, Gen X, no, not Gen X, Gen Z or whatever. They're freaking out. They're upset. Uh, um, a lot of them have went over to the Red Note. A lot of people are learning Mandarin now to go over to Red
I
Note.
can't, dude. The,
So
the motivation people have for their addiction, this is like actual, like this is what you see from drug addicts. You know what I mean? They go above and beyond. Imagine if we harnessed the power of drug addicts and TikTok addicts and like threw them into something productive. Imagine.
that's the productive. Their productivity is the content creation, not and that's their stuff. But think about it like this: all that talent
I'm
you
not,
have in
but I'm
making
talking
those
about like the consumer, like the people who are just motivated because they want to consume TikTok and they go to Red Note and they're learning Mandarin. Like the level of motivation that takes. Imagine harnessing that for something where they're actually like doing something.
well, they feel they're doing something
It's
in
what
their
I've
heads.
always wondered about like drug addiction too, and that we don't have to get into that. But like my brain is like, you could do something with that power.
You, I get it. It's funny because I watched a movie recently. It's a A24 movie called Y2K, and it's like a horror movie, horror slash comedy movie. So it takes place during 1999. Y2K happens, and the computers and everything become sentient, start making monsters, and it's the whole thing called the collective, where they're going to use humans, put an implant in their brain, and kind of like the humans stay in a virtual reality state while the computers and everything siphon their neurons and everything, and pretty much computers take over the world, right?
Right.
So it's an AI that's trying to take over the whole world,
Which is,
and it's
there's like what, a 10% chance or something.
yeah. So it's funny in the movie when they go, spoiler alert, when they go to destroy the kind of the AI, it tells them we're everywhere. You need us. You worship us. We're on your phones. We're on your beepers. You see, we're everywhere. You need us. You can't live without us. Like, the fast forward to now, it's the same thing. We're already slaves to this. We're slaves to this.
I mean, there
We
is like
carry
a
this
whole group of people
around
now, and
everywhere.
I want to be a part of it at some point, but there's a movement towards kind of getting back to basics. I think a lot of people are craving that and missing
It's
that.
never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
And there's a lot of people who are doing it though. They're like moving off the grid, building farms. It's very expensive to do.
Yeah, but it's hard. The only way you could go back to the basics is you have to have an event where you can't trust cyberspace at all. You can't trust electronics. There has to be an event where I'm not sorry.
I
where
mean,
you
there
can't
are
trust where
groups. I mean, think of
a
like the
war.
Amish. There's a
No,
few
it has
like
to be a war.
islands that are pretty untouched. You know what I mean? Like there's groups that are doing it, but
yeah, I think it has to be a war where a cyber attack happens and it knocks us off the grid completely and forces people to go back to things. That's why in the military now and always in the military, they teach us how to do things the old school way on pen and paper and stuff.
for worst case scenario.
And then on the computers, because everything in the military now is digital, but they teach us the old school ways because
no, that's how it should be. I mean, most of us
in the
don't
field,
know how to
everything
survive,
works.
like if technology is gone, which is not good.
Yeah.
Like most people
Yeah,
don't
a
know
lot of
how
people.
to like harvest food, grow food, do anything. You know what I mean?
No,
Bad.
they don't. They don't. And this is step one. Like if you really can't live without TikTok, without having to scroll through things to see things and laugh. Like if you need that as your like, it calms me down and stuff, then that's scary.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
very
And
scary.
I
Like
was
that,
starting to
like
get there with Twitter. So this year I like cleaned up my phone really well and I have like no notifications except for stuff that I need it for. And like ASAP stuff, but no social media really notifications other than Discord. And I think I've been timing sprints on Twitter. So I'll do like 5-10 minute increments where I go in and when I'm making posts, I make them offline. So I make them on my Notion. So then I take the post and I like will look really quickly at Twitter to see what the trends are. I'll see if I have
yeah,
anything in line with it or take a minute and then go write something up on it and then come back, post it, answer some comments, get off, right? And so I've been doing like these time sprints that are helping a lot instead of like doom scrolling forever.
yeah. I mean, even the phones now have this feature called screen time,
Yeah.
where it kind of like tells you like, all right, that's enough, and it locks you out, saying
Yeah.
like, go touch grass.
Which like I
pretty
don't want to
much.
do because I don't want to limit myself if there was like a day where there was a lot going on and I want to be on there and like posts are going wild and I'm like going viral or something. Like I wouldn't want to miss that chance because I like set some limits on my phone. But I guess you can get on your computer, you know what I mean? Which I've been doing more anyway, is like kind of relegating it to either when I'm like actually in movement or like on a balance board, like just trying to be more like less just doom scrolling in bed or something and
I
having
get you.
goals, you know?
I get you. Well, moving away from that, you want to talk about the whole what'd you say? I forgot.
Well, we could talk about Elon and Asmon. That's a good one.
Yeah, let's talk about that briefly because
Yeah.
I barely know about it. You know more about this one.
Yeah, so Elon and Asmon are arguing on Twitter, and Elon actually like put their DMs out there, which is like against TOS. He like broke his own platform's TOS.
Oh, you could do that. When I own the company, I could do what the fuck I want.
I mean, and so he like leaked DMs because he goes, well, Asmon is like owned, like he has people telling him what to do because they were talking about like video content on Twitter. And then he was like, oh, Asmon was like, oh, I'll ask my editors like what they want to do with that. Like, well, maybe we can do something with it. And so Elon took that as like journalist editors, like, oh, so you've got to like check in with someone. But like, no, he was just gonna talk to his editors who do stuff for him because he's hired them, not because they hired him. Like, he had it all backwards and looked dumb to everyone because the rest of us know how this works. How does he not? I mean, he knows a lot about a lot of things, but he doesn't know about how social
Sometimes
media content creation works when he owns the like.
Sometimes when you're too rich, you forget the simple things. Sometimes you forget the smaller things in life, you know. But can you blame the guy? He's fucking a billionaire. You think he got time to worry about what the lesser people are doing?
Well, the best part is that the whole argument was over Asmon being like, there's no way that this guy has time to do all of this because he's like really leveled up in a video game. And so everybody's like, there's no way that Elon did that. When does he have time to do that much gaming? Like, you'd have to be sitting here fucking 12 hours a day. So nobody believes
You never
him.
know. He probably does. I mean, if you just sit back and get paid, bro, like.
I mean, he could be on calls just grinding it out all day. You know what I mean? Like I could see that type of multitasking happen from somebody that rich. They don't have to do anything if they don't want to, you know?
Yeah, you just gotta sit in your business call. Everybody tell you stuff. You give a little bit of information, and you're sitting here grinding away at Path of Exiles, whatever the fuck he's playing.
I could see him doing that, honestly. Like I could believe it if that were the truth. I mean, think about like Mr. Beast is a good example. He did those videos where he'd like say Logan Paul over and over, like count to 100,000 or million or whatever. And he did that so he could watch anime. He was literally watching anime in the background while he was repeating himself or counting upwards. These people crazy multitask.
So he just sat there.
Level of intelligence, they can just do both. Yeah.
Wait. So he sat there saying Logan Paul over and over, right? While watching anime.
It was definitely the counting one. I don't know if he did it with Logan Paul as well, but he definitely, I saw something with him saying, oh, I figured out I could count without paying too much attention to counting and I could just watch anime. Because he's like, I really wanted to watch it, but obviously I was more motivated to do YouTube. So I thought of a way to do both.
Anyway, okay. So that was pretty much the whole Asmongold, the Elon Musk thing. It was kind of just like a brief, you know, you're too dumb. You're too rich and dumb to understand something simple.
For a couple days for sure, but it was basically like them arguing and calling each other dumb and lying and all this stuff. And
Could you imagine having a freaking a spat with somebody like Asmongold?
well, can you imagine having a spat with Elon being Asmongold? And he did great. I mean, as he does, to be honest. Like, I know other people will be like, what the fuck did you say? No, like, I mean, Asmon holds his cool. Like, it's what he does.
Yeah, he can't keep his room clean.
He can't keep his
Say
room
that
clean,
much.
but he can hold his cool, man. He just says his thing. You know?
It's getting crazy. You know, you also talked about, Assassin's Creed now being a whole thing. People are still coming after that game, like, and Ubisoft now, because like some people are predicting like if this game doesn't do good, Ubisoft will be up for sale.
Oh, I think it already probably is, to be honest. It might save it, but like if they move the date again, for sure they're being bought. And even if it does well, they still might be being bought. This might just be a setup for that.
No, I think it's
I hope they are.
in the hands. It's in the hands right now, like the game and the consumer, because I know they're pushing it back to polish it a little more. Because let's be honest, Assassin's Creed has had a history of releasing the game and then like it's just buggy.
I mean, I just wish I understood that better. I don't really care about bugs too much unless I'm trying to like get a specific piece of content and can't. Like, I don't.
It's just that like when you're a big game company, right? You're held to a standard. All these game companies are held to a high standard, and you know that you're held to a higher standard. And when you're releasing games, and when you push it back too, and come day one,
Yeah,
it's
so
like
everything increases every time that they move it back. Like the expectations go higher.
Yeah, so you move it back, and then like come day one, I'm playing the game, and the guy's face is falling off, or I'm clipping through the walls. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I just spent 20 minutes downloading the game if I'm downloading it from this website, or I spent 5 minutes having to download a day one patch or something, right? And then come the patch, it's like your game is still broken in certain ways.
I mean, I think everybody's really dramatic, though, to be honest.
Or missions aren't loading. So it pisses me off as a consumer. Like,
I've just never experienced that, like, very bad. Like,
well, you don't buy games day one all the time,
Star Wars
do you?
Outlaws was like shit all over for bugs, right? I had it a week early, right? And I had the patch already. So if you had they like made a whole big deal out of like everybody has to patch the game on PS5 if like day one, and you're gonna lose your save. That wasn't even true unless you maybe had the physical copy a week early, like, or when it, like, that was it. Like, I had a digital copy and I had the patch day one a week early. Like, when they said, oh, you've got to upgrade to the patch, I already had it. So I didn't have to do anything. So I didn't lose my save, and I didn't really I experienced like 3 bugs the entire time, I think. And like none of them were particularly game breaking. I think like 1 or 2 froze it and like the game closed, but like it wasn't, I opened it back up and I was right where I left off. Like, it wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean?
But did you but the thing is, like, okay, you got the game a week early, so you kind of expected that kind of stuff, did you not?
Yeah, but it didn't happen. Like, no,
but
there were very few bugs.
See, but that's the difference. So if I get the game a week early, where I know it's not finished, and like I'm playing certain things, and I know like after that I'm gonna actually like release day one patch, I know what I'm getting. Like when I play a beta of a game, if I play a beta of a game, I don't expect polished work.
But it was polished, is what I'm saying. And everybody was claiming it wasn't. And so I feel like people are just making shit up, because I've never personally experienced all this stuff that they say. Like, ever. I've never had a game be so bad that I quit because of it.
Well, I can say the same thing for Cyberpunk, because there were people saying Cyberpunk, certain things happen when they play Cyberpunk.
Yep.
I didn't experience it, right? But that does not take away from what other people experienced while playing that game.
I just don't know if I'm just lucky or what, but it feels like everybody's just being fucking dramatic, if you ask me.
Maybe you're just lucky. Maybe you just get lucky. Maybe you're just one of the thousands that doesn't have to deal with it.
But I also don't care if somebody's face melts off. I think it's funny. We laugh. We move on, you know? Like.
Yeah, but the thing is again, you're held to higher standards. Let's look at your additional coffee that you buy, right? Okay, let's look at that, right? Do you hold the coffee you buy from whatever little mom and pop to a standard?
Food, yes, but entertainment's different. Entertainment.
Wait, no, go back. It's the same.
Yes. It's not the same to me.
Yes, it is,
Entertainment
but
is a
you
good different beast because as long as I'm being entertained, I think it's just because people's expectations are different. Like the quality, you know what I mean? Like because they're like, oh, I want a really polished product. Me, I don't care because I think it's fun either way. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, everybody holds when you're these companies, right? That put out all these like AAA titles and stuff, you're held to a standard. And when you constantly push games back, we as a consumer is like, okay, they're pushing it back to make it more polished and refined. Look at GTA. I don't think we're gonna get GTA this year.
I don't
I
think we
believe
are
we don't
either.
get we're not gonna use.
I don't think we are either. I've been
It's
saying
gonna
that for
get
a
pushed
while.
back.
Yeah.
It's gonna get pushed back to 2026
Yep.
because a game like that right now, and with how things are moving, it has to be so
Perfect.
fine-tuned that the day when it comes out, there can't be any issues.
Well,
And
here's the
Rockstar
deal.
holds
Which
themselves
do
to
you
that.
prefer? Like, if you had to choose, do you prefer this system of like kind of fucked up games that come out after 10 years, or do you want it to be like 15 years but perfect? You know what I mean? Like, it's a
I would rather
mess.
15 years and be perfect.
I would rather them stop trying to do too fucking much. You know what I mean? Like, polish a good linear 12-hour game. We don't need a fucking 100-hour game that you can't control and you can't even like. If we're gonna talk about polish, like just cut it down a little bit. It's too
But that's why
fucking
games
big.
have. That's why a lot of games have betas.
Yeah.
Like, okay, perfect example: Monster Hunter Wilds. They had a beta, so they could test server strength.
Mhm.
The beta was free. It was an open. It was like, here's an open beta. Everybody, we're gonna do PlayStation 5, then we're gonna do Steam, right? They released it in certain waves so they could do stress tests on their servers. I found out that the one that came out in PC wasn't a polished beta as of yet, so some of the rendering looked kind of weird, and it kind of put strain on my GPU. So it was funky at times,
Mhm.
but it still looked good. It still ran fine for me. It still ran kind of fine, but I noticed that stuff.
Hmm.
And a buddy told me like, hey, it wasn't fully polished. It wasn't rendered correctly. So do a beta like that. That's what betas and alphas are for, to test things like that.
Yeah, and
Then
that
when
was the whole thing with Concord too. Is they said there wasn't enough like testing at all. Like there was no feedback, is what I heard.
exactly.
And that's why it didn't do. Like you've got to get feedback. I mean, that's with anything. Like with our episode last week with Ashley, right? It was like you've got to have market research. And these companies, I don't know what they're doing, but I feel like it's a lot of people in power who like haven't. They think that they know it all at this point, and they're not listening to the market, and they're just
Yeah.
and it could be, you know, there's like a million conspiracies that I think both of us might buy partially into, you know, where it's like, oh, BlackRock's telling them to do this, they're giving them money, so they're doing this, even if it's not going to sell as well. Like, there's all these different conspiracies you can apply to this, but nonetheless, they're putting out games that just aren't what's being asked for. And that's an easy fix by just doing market research and getting feedback and doing small scale to big scale rather than just full sending shit that nobody wants.
Yeah, and when you do the market research, don't give it to a group of content creators or friends or editors that you know are gonna say good things about it because they like you. You don't want to upset. They don't want to upset you.
Mhm.
I've always said like I think I'm banned from getting key codes anymore because I reviewed one game and like and I was just saying like while playing, I was like, this game is fucking terrible. It's a terrible game. Like the concept is cool, but it's terrible. There's a lot of things missing. And I guess that the developer probably was like, fuck this guy, make sure he doesn't get any more codes from anybody else. But like, you can't, that's the type of feedback you're going to expect when you release a game.
Yeah,
Not
you need
everybody's
a
going to suck your
variety
dick.
because if like I were to get any Assassin's Creed game, as long as it feels like Assassin's Creed to me, I'm good. I'm happy, right?
Yeah,
But
you're
so
going to be
you don't
happy.
want just my feedback. You want people who are going to be the hard sells, the new customers, the people who maybe
Exactly.
aren't going to give you a chance. You need both. You need your fans and you need the non-fans.
Yeah, it's like with every Souls games, they try to make it for new players, but new players, no matter how much you do, for, especially with the Dark Souls and the Dark Souls industry and any Soulsborne game, they try to cater to the new players. They really try, saying we're gonna get all this stuff in there. But what do new players want? New players always want an easy mode. Miyazaki's already said, I'm not giving you an easy mode. I'm giving you the tools to make the game easy for you. If you can't work with that, then that's on you at this point. Oh, accessibility. Stop hiding accessibility on the things. Accessibility is not needed because there's people, again, there's a person who beat there's Dark Souls games, and they have no hands.
Yep.
There's pro players in Street Fighters that beats people with his mouth.
This might be the thing we agree on the most, to be honest.
Yeah.
like,
Like,
I'm with you.
So again, a lot of companies, they do want to attract newer players. Yeah. They do. They want to do that stuff.
But
so
that's
they
the thing
should be
too,
releasing.
Is like maybe everything doesn't need to be fucking mass market. You know what I mean? Like some games could just be hard.
Can be. And some games, and that game is not for you. Yep. Like I said, game is for everybody, but not every game is for everyone.
Exactly.
So when it comes to like a AAA title and a company like Ubisoft, you're held to a standard. So if you push your game back, we hope that you're polishing it and you're giving us, our $80 or $70 or $100 worth of stuff. I don't want to play a game that comes out and, like I said, the guy's face is melting, or I can't do a mission because of a stupid bug. It's, you could disagree with me all you want, but
I mean, I do, but it's an opinion's an opinion, And
everybody's entitled to their wrong opinion, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of complaints in the industry that are very unnecessary, to be honest. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I think because people are going to buy what they want to buy. And so these companies just need to be thinking about their budgets better. You know what I mean? If you want to sell to everybody, put all of these factors in the game that people want, get the feedback, make it clean, polished, send it out. It's that easy, right? Like that's the formula. It's that simple. If you want to do something that's a niche concept, like we've talked about, where you have all of these things that people don't want, maybe it's too hard, maybe it's too gay, whatever it is that it's too much of, keep it for that audience, know how large that audience is, budget appropriately for a game for that audience, rather than budgeting it for mass market and then it not having mass market appeal and everybody getting upset and it being a whole thing,
Yeah. It's kind of like with how Marvel Rivals is doing so well. It's doing so well right now, and it's like this whole thing where it's like it's Goonergate now. We had Gamergate, now it's Goonergate. So for those who don't know, a Gooner is somebody who's like, could be male or female, who is just wants to see nothing but ass and titties in all aspects. Just pure ass and titties. Like that's all they care about. And it's Gooner. So Marvel Rivals has been widely successful, has become the bane of my existence in its rank. But when they release the female characters, they're releasing it in the way of the female characters are drawn as they were as like the early 90s, where it's very provocative and like, it's like, oh my god, she's hot. There's no imagination, especially with like
because
Cloak and Dagger.
And here's the thing too, is people have to think about like what an advantage is, like upside and downside. So for instance, if you have ass and titties showing, how many people does that alienate versus how many does that bring in? And so
exactly.
They're not looking at this as like from the perspective of we want to see the ass and titties. They're looking at like the data telling them who wants to see the ass and titties.
Exactly.
It's that simple. And that's why Marvel Rivals, I think, is doing so well, because it's like feeding off of data. They have to be. Like, it's so good. Like, the way that it has just taken off, they have the licensed, product. That's what has done so well on Fortnite, is all of these licensed brands. So they have a very popular brand, right, that they can just build infinitely on. And then they're doing it with the right model, because everybody said, we want free to play. Obviously Concord didn't work. So, like, go back to free to play. Think about this. They had the right monetization strategy, and then they add ass and titties. They love it. And then on top of that, it seems to be a pretty good game that people are excited about. You add all of that in, it's done. It's done. That's gonna keep going.
Yeah, especially like with and then there's a plethora of Marvel characters, and they said already that they're releasing 2 heroes every month. And I think this month alone we're getting 4. We're getting the Fantastic Four.
So events.
Updates, events, the skins and all that stuff. And a lot of people have just been like, like I said, gooning over that. It's like the ass and titties is like a plus.
I think it's
you're playing
dumb
with Marvel
shit
heroes.
That's what people's motivation is, but like at the same time, you can't disagree with the data if that's where you want to go. Like if you want the most amount of people buying your shit. That generally is going to work pretty well for a mass audience.
And it's kind of funny because they did a comparison of Marvel Rivals character design and Square Enix's Avengers game design. Hold on. Dry throat. Ugh. So they kind of did the character design model, and when you look at how the Avengers game was done back, that game came out like in 2021 or 2, I forgot. But it was like it tried to be more realistic. With Marvel Rivals, it was like, let's make it cartoony. So it looks good. The heroes look amazing. The designs look fucking phenomenal.
So not like Last of Us 2 type of realism, but like back to basics kind of aesthetic is what I'm hearing.
Well, with Marvel Rivals, they just kept it very comic book accurate.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. So, but they kept it 90s comic book accurate. Like I said, 90s comic book accurate. The guys were all just jacked as shit. All the guys were jacked, and all the women had like huge boobs and huge ass.
That's what people have been asking for. And I've been wondering how big that audience is, you know? And so I guess they played that card. And it seems to be an audience that is buying games, like, period. I don't agree with it. I think that people need to get the porn out of their brains. But, like, it's selling, you know? What are you going to do?
And is it using the same model of Overwatch? Yes, it's a hero shooter. And it has the same type of stuff as
Marvel,
Overwatch,
which people love.
But
I mean, kids
it's
are
Marvel,
like, you know,
exactly.
kids are like, oh, I want to play as the, you know, my superhero stuff that I like watching. Like, it's genius.
Exactly. And then you put the competitive aspect into it, and it's just like it just
who
blows
cares
up.
about Overwatch? Who can name a character outside of people who play the game? You know what I mean? But Marvel, I can name some characters even though I'm not playing it. You know what I mean?
Name 5 Marvel characters. Go.
The little cute shark dude, and fucking Captain America. And the one that gets really tiny, he's fucking, and Clawy Boy.
What? Clawy Boy? Who the fuck is Clawy Boy? I don't think I've ever heard of it. What's his name?
I'll give you one guess.
I know who he is, but I want you to say his fucking name. Say his name.
Wolverine.
Say the fucking name, man.
Wolverine.
The hell is wrong with you? Clawy Boy, the little guy that gets this small. They have names. Does he get house? What kind of small? Is it small like an atom or small like an insect? What's the name of the insect?
Ant-Man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So tell me who's Clawy Boy, because I can think. Okay, now what else? That you gave me 3. That was 4. One more.
I know this. Iron Man.
So look, she named all the men. She just see the misogynistic in her. She don't know none of the women.
In Marvel? I'm like trying to get canceled this week because this is the cancel culture week.
Oh my god! Please put that on this shirt. I want that. Please make sure, editor. Please make sure we definitely put Clawy Boy. That's the new Marvel hero, Clawy Boy. Oh my god!
Listen.
But yes, you're right. Like if you haven't played Overwatch, you don't know any character, but you could. Yeah. Marvel characters, you could just name.
I don't like Marvel though. They actually got me a cup to make fun of me that has like Marvel characters on it because I don't. I don't like the superhero genre that much, but if I were to, it would be DC. Yeah, 100%.
Well, you know what they say. DC is a bunch of people, regular people who want to be superheroes, and Marvel is a bunch of superheroes who want to be regular people.
That's why it's cooler.
No,
who the fuck has Marvel powers and is like, I don't want these powers? No, fuck you.
Bro, hold on.
You know what I mean?
Stop. Let's pause. We're gonna get the whole nerd debate right now, but you're gonna lose, okay? In Marvel, I've been reading Marvel comics for a long time.
Okay.
Could you imagine you have powers and you literally have to fucking use them to help people constantly?
You don't have to.
And then there's always some word of you can't. And then here's the thing: look at Spider-Man. Let's do Spider-Man, a perfect example. You can't go to college to get your education because you got to fucking save everybody because you got these powers. You can't keep a fucking steady job. You can't keep your relationship.
Get good.
All right. Get good.
No, get good. Like, what do you mean you
get
can't?
Good? What do you mean get good? No, you can't because here's the thing.
If somebody wants me to fucking save some shit, they better fucking pay me, bro.
Oh, now you want to get paid too? You think you see? So just become a mercenary. You're just a mercenary.
Yeah,
you're a hero for hire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how you gonna advertise yourself?
I'm not. They'll come to me, man.
They come to you.
Word of mouth.
God, I hate you so much. I hate you so much. Why are we still do this podcast? Should have got a man to do this podcast with me.
Listen, I'll be the
not
first
a,
woman
not a
Marvel
bisexual.
character.
Not a.
And I'll be way cooler.
You'll be the first
one.
The first female Marvel. The first
Yeah.
bisexual female Marvel character.
Probably. I don't think there's any bis in there. There are a lot in DC. DC, everyone's gay.
There's gay superheroes in Marvel
I
too.
don't think there's gay superheroes in Marvel. Who's
You're
gay?
telling
Name
me or
one.
asking me?
Name one.
Hulk and Wiccan, 2 gay men.
I don't know them.
Deadpool is pretty much pansexual. All the X-Men, those motherfuckers just fuck each other all day.
Oh, X-Men
That's all
is
they do.
different. Yeah, X-Men. I forgot that they're
Wolverine has
somewhat
been
lightly-
fucking.
Yeah, they're associated. Yeah,
Yeah.
forgot about them.
Domino, bisexual, kind of. I think She-Hulk is too. Captain Marvel's a little on the fence.
I still
I
prefer
can keep
DC.
going.
You win. Yeah, there's some gays
Yeah,
over there, but I still like DC.
Yeah, DC. What's the most prominent gay heroes in DC? Harley Quinn and fucking
Yeah.
Poison Ivy. That's
yeah,
it.
Dude.
That's all
I
you
watched
got.
that show all day. The fucking I don't remember her name because I'm terrible at names, but I love Legends of Tomorrow, and everyone in that show is gay. So that's a good one.
Legends of Tomorrow. You don't know her name, but she's gay.
She's the main character. I don't remember.
Of
her
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Does she have powers?
Name. Sort of. She has a lot of things going on.
I can't talk to you like this.
She's like because there's like an evolution in that show. So like at one point she's like becomes like half dead, like she has been resurrected, Lazarus Pit, I think, and then like also is like half alien. She like morphs into like a million things. So yeah, but it depends on when you ask, I guess. Like at one point she was just a trained assassin with like the assassin people.
Talia Ghul?
No, that was her. She kind of had a thing with her, but it wasn't her. It was the Arrow girl, not the main Arrow girl, but the other
Artemis?
One. No.
I don't know. I don't know enough DC characters.
I can look
know.
it up for you. Here we go.
Yeah, but yeah.
Now I'm
Yeah,
curious.
so it's just crazy how Marvel writers have succeeded where Concord failed, and to this day we will never
Lance.
stop. That's the name of the character?
You don't know what that is? Okay, hold on. Sarah Lance, what is she? Sarah Lance. White Canary.
Oh, okay.
She's
I know
a former
Black
member
Canary.
of League of Assassins. That's what I was saying about the Assassins.
Okay.
Vigilante, member of the Justice League. She time travels and leads them on. She's like the pirate ship leader, but like in space travel, time travel.
Okay. Circling back to fucking Assassin's Creed Shadows. It was funny that I remember I sent you that article where somebody's like trying to like the big reach, where the date Assassin's Creed Shadows come out is March 20th, and they said March 20th in Japan history is also nobly known as Tokyo subway sharing attack, which occurred in 1995 when members of Om Shinkyo cult released nerve gas in the Tokyo subway system, killing 13 people and injuring thousands.
My answer
So
to that
like,
is,
oh.
bro, name a day that doesn't have a fucking tragedy, dude.
Exactly. Like, oh, they're releasing on March 20th. Oh, look, they're releasing the day a subway attack happened in Tokyo. How horrible of them. Listen.
Like, Jesus, there's not a day that, like, you could, they're just picking shit out. You could literally pick through history for any game and find something to be offended about. I swear to God.
You're absolutely right. It's ridiculous. And I get it. You don't like Shadows. You don't like what they're doing with Shadows. You don't like that it's a black freaking samurai doing stuff. You don't like that it's all this is being made by a whole bunch of white women and stuff. Like, I don't care. Okay, I get it. But when you constantly reach for nonsense, it gets boring.
Well, it makes your
It's
point
tiring.
less impactful, too, to be honest.
Exactly.
Like, it's one thing when there's like, strategic thought happening and like real genuine thought happening that aligns with someone's value system, so you kind of can to some extent even respect it even if you don't agree, right? But when they're just doing all this, it's like, what is there to respect? It's like you're just pulling shit out for engagement at that point.
Yeah, and then there was another thing with that kind of been popping up, and we could probably just talk about this briefly. Aaliyah Pierce has been like calling like a lot of people fake gamers
Oh, she's the
and
one that
stuff.
fucking did the we need pause in Elden Ring for the handicap of having children.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, that was a funny
So
one.
she because she said she pretty much called everybody fake gamers for rooting for wanting games to fail, for wanting companies to fail.
I had that perspective last year, to be honest, where I was very much of the mindset of like, if you want the industry to fail, you're a fake gamer. Honestly, I've changed my tune on a lot over the last couple months because I'm
Some companies
tired.
deserve to fail. Some companies deserve to fucking fail. Some of you guys deserve to fail.
I'm getting
Sweet
to the
Baby Inc.,
point
you deserve to
where
fail.
like I'm just getting so tired that I think I'm at a point where I kind of agree with that sentiment, which I wouldn't have last year,
What you're a fake gamer if you want something to fail?
No, where I agree with you, to be honest. I was very much in that mindset of there were a lot of fake gamers, and there still are. There are a lot of people who talk about gaming who don't game, and like they shouldn't be able to be a loud opinion in the space, in my opinion. But yeah, there's truth to what you're saying at this point. I'm just because I think that the market should decide. You know what I mean?
She's also been in like a lot of like controversy and stuff, and a lot of people don't like her because she says a lot of stupid shit. Like, and she's in that group of people who we do no wrong. Everything we say is right, and you cannot disagree with us because if you do, you're all this stuff.
And see, I don't like that from either side. You know what I mean? I don't like when they use the isms to try to, control people's opinions. And I don't like when they start to use their value systems to force them on other people from the other side. I don't like either of the extremes.
Exactly.
Which I don't think is, I don't know. I don't know if most gamers agree, but I feel like a lot of gamers have kind of taken sides, and I'm just trying to be very sideless this year. I can see validity happening on both sides too. Like, there are things that people can say on either end that I'll agree with,
It seems like every other day somebody's coming out and just attacking gamers and attacking journalists. And I feel like in the past like 2 years, game journalism has made themselves, a lot of game journalists have made themselves targets for gamers because they fucking hyped up and gave good reviews to games and then backtracked after a while.
They also are very, you can tell it's like how we spoke last week about the big streamers all kind of protecting each other. You know what I mean? When push comes to shove, that's what it feels like in certain pockets of the industry, right? Pretty much any extremist pocket of the industry, including the journalism side. They might agree or disagree. It doesn't matter. They're going to kind of protect each other. Kind of like I was having a conversation with one about SBI, right? And I was like, it seems like there's things being pushed. Like, tell me how it actually works. And they were very much defensive that SBI hadn't done anything, and I just don't know that I believe that. You know what I mean? Like, because I pulled out examples, that the other side had used that are there. Like, you can't deny that they're there. Like the lady saying like, oh, you should go threaten people in your company if they don't listen. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then another one where they said, I want to burn gaming to the ground. And anybody who says that, like, it's one thing to be okay with a company failing if you just want to see those resources and that focus elsewhere. Like, I can see some validity in wanting the market to kind of shift with what, gamers are wanting in a mass scale. Like, I can see that. But I don't see validity in wanting to burn the industry to the ground. That's somebody who is the enemy of gamers. And there are extremists on both sides that are doing that. And SBI has literally said they're doing it. And so I do take issue with that. And so I called that out, and he's like, well, I don't know who that is. And I'm like, well, they're part of SBI. So you just denying that you don't know, you just saying you don't know who they are doesn't make your point any more valid. You're just ignoring what's happening. Like, what do you actually have to say about this?
That's the case of people who say like it's a typical case like, I don't believe you, give me the facts, and you give them facts and they're like, oh well, that's not a reliable source.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not a
are you
fact
fucking
I'm familiar
serious?
with. It's like, okay, but it
Yeah.
is a fact. Like, it's happened. Plus, like the one who's like, so they don't threaten, and he's like, well, that's just taken out of context because it was for like other game developers, and I'm like, and like they don't know when you're joking, and things can be clipped out of context and audience, and I'm like, I get that. I live stream. People could cancel me for literally anything any day, but like, I don't think that like nobody's joking. That wasn't a joke, okay? There was no tone of a joke. She was saying go threaten people with what's gonna happen. Yeah. Like that's
It's like
very clear.
it's like last year that it came out like the one of the Wolverine's associate narrative director for the Wolverine game that's supposed to be coming out. I don't know if that game's ever still coming out because like it kind of just went dark. Huh?
The Clawy Boy, the game.
Yes. Anyway, I'm gonna hit you so bad. Come to PAX so I can just. Wait, hold on. Because people like Della just wants to abuse Mad. Della's a woman beater. No,
they're gonna cancel you, dude.
Mad. I'm gonna hit Mad because she deserves to be hit. Not like I'm gonna hit her to like harm her. No, I'm gonna hit her so she just gets some sense. Like, if you see Mad like in a week and she has like a red mark that's right in the middle of her forehead, it was from me.
You think that's gonna stop me from? Do you think it's a good thing if you like convinced me to like Marvel?
I'm not trying to convince you to like Marvel. I'm not trying to convince you to like it. I'm just trying to like I don't know, something about, you know what it is? You're like the sister who's like, I want to do that too. And it's like, no, go away. And it's like, okay, all right.
Well, I don't want to do. Well, actually, to be honest, the Clawy Boy game might be. If it's good, I'll play it even if I don't like Clawy Boy. That's the thing is like a lot of people. I don't really get the side that's like I won't play this game because it has something I don't like. I don't like Marvel, but like I'll play a game if it's good. You know what I mean? I don't like what Captain America stands for, but like I'll play it if it's fun.
Let's circle back to that after I get back there because we'll circle back to the Captain America thing, okay? But Marvel Wolverine associate narrative director Mary Kenny says every lever must be pulled to push disorder LGBTQ plus agenda.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they're like going full saying like we have to put gay agenda in this game.
And that's the thing. Like if they're forcing it, like I can understand where people are getting upset. I think we've said that multiple times, but like I personally like, okay, cool, gay, right? Like I'm good with it, obviously. Like I think it's cool.
Yes.
I feel represented. Awesome, right? But like if they're putting it in every single game and it feels forced, no, I don't want that. Stop that. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Like, put things in organically where they make sense.
You have to like, but a lot of people don't even fucking understand that. They just fucking they just say like, if you don't like this, then you're against gays, or they throw the isms at you. You're all these horrible things. But I have, like I said, Final Fantasy 13. Gay saved the world. It was two lesbians that saved the fucking world.
Mm-hmm. And there are people that are going to take issue with that.
Enjoy the game.
There are people who just want all gay like out of their media, right? There are people who are just very stringently like against it, and that's their choice. Like you're not going to change their mind by adding it more in. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to ever change somebody's mind by forcing them to interact with something over and over. That's not how that works.
Yeah, it's like you're just beating it to their heads, and it's like, I don't want this.
It's going to make them want it less. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I don't like eating liver. I don't like liver. You put liver in my face, I'm not going to eat it. If you keep putting it, and like, I'm not going to like it. It's like, I'm sorry, but like, I don't know if you ever watched American Horror Story, but there's a scene where like, this is back like the 1950s, I want to say. During that time, it was like, women can't be gay. Women can't not like men. They have to like men. And there's a scene where they, it's even done today still, and it's sad that if you are gay, they kind of put you in these camps to make you straight.
Yep.
And this one was in an insane asylum.
I think that still exists, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
So they put her in a insane asylum, and and they're like, you have to like, you gotta like men. So they put a naked man in front of her, and his penis is there, and it's like, touch his penis.
the last thing that's gonna make you straight is like forcing penises on you.
Exactly.
Like that's
Exactly.
the like opposite effect. Like, what are you doing?
Exactly. Like, and I get the whole notion, like, okay, there's a lot of straight media out there. Yes, there's a lot of straight medias and straight relationships. Okay, cool. When you make something your whole selling point of the game is when people don't like it.
Which is what we were talking about with Concord, right? It
Nobody,
didn't work.
exactly. Nobody cares, or nobody's gonna get upset that if in the game while I'm playing it, it gives me an option to like a man or woman, or this perfect example, Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody got upset when they found out Ellie was gay.
Well, I'm sure that people did, okay. But it's probably a small group. They were more upset about Joel, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I think there are people, like, there is a subset that's very upset that there's gay in any game.
But if you play the DLC, if you play the fucking DLC, you knew she was gay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they were upset about that too, and they were upset about it in the show. Like, they're gonna be upset no matter what. But like you said,
it wasn't
I
the
think
selling
it's a great
point.
Representation. It's not the selling point, exactly.
It wasn't. They didn't. You didn't see Ubisoft go. I mean, not Ubisoft. Naughty Dog go. We are doing like, we're making sure this saves gay lives, and this is for the gays, and this is for the LGBT
There are people who are
you
still like anti Naughty Dog because of it. To be fair.
Yeah.
But, like,
go ahead, be that way.
The Uncharted, which the last Uncharted was the most like well made in terms of like, because it was the last one. Like, it had everything that they'd been building towards, and people were anti it just because it was ladies.
Yeah, I didn't really care about
like
ladies.
A little bit of gay energy.
A little bit, but it wasn't confirmed.
Yeah, it was kind of like there was just like energy there.
Yeah. So, but again, was that their selling point? Did they constantly boast about it? It's going to be like, it's for these, it's for you, this is for you, and stuff, right?
And the thing is, like we've said, you can make like a niche thing for a niche audience. Like, make a really awesome gay game. Just don't spend $400 million on that, because there's not a big enough audience for it.
And if you do, you got to make sure that the audience is going to play your game.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Like, make sure that you're selling to them. Like, if that's your selling point, you've also got to make them your target audience fully and understand what they want fully, and not just throw it in there and think that everybody's like, it's just not. People are just not good at
it's like
this.
look at a classic movie like Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
I watched it. Great movie. Really good movie.
I haven't seen it.
Am I a gay man? No. Did it push gay agenda on me? No. 2-1 Fu. Thank you for everything, Judy Marr. Great fucking movie. Drag queens. Does that make me gay? I like musicals. Does that make me gay? No.
You're just experiencing like humanity, other people's stories.
Yes, you know? I've watched it and experienced it. When
you watch people like murder on movies, like, does that make you a murderer? Like,
not yet, but I'm getting there. But at the end of the day, is like, these movies, when they came out, people knew who it was for. People kind of knew. They kind of got the idea. It was like, this is for a certain person, right? But people who are straight are not gay, or who went to see it and was like, oh, this is actually a good movie. I enjoy it. Then you have people who's like, this is fucking blasphemous. Burn in hell, right? But when you do things like Concord, like, this is for gay, this is going to represent, we have so much representation. What about your game? What makes me a guy who doesn't care about representation being black or anything? What about the game? What is going to make me gravitate towards your game? And I don't know if
it was just like,
a lot of people don't do that.
I think they just thought they were too big to fail. Like, that anything they launched that had that level of money put into it that people would buy, they just like didn't think through the process of actual, like, these big corporations just really do think that they're too big to fail, and in some ways they are, in terms of like, for like the whole company failing, but these projects certainly can, you know.
Exactly. And these people don't fucking understand that.
Yeah.
Like, like, I get it, you want to touch everyone, well, not touch everyone in a bad way, but you want to you want to cater to everybody, but at the end of the day, you're doing it away where you're alienating everybody else. You can have a character who is trans, who is black, who is gay, who is disabled. You can have all those.
Some people will
But at
still be
least
mad.
make them
Yeah, to be fair.
but at least make them relatable in some type of way.
Yeah. Because
To
then
the
you won't
common
alienate
person.
most of the audience. Like if we're looking at like a scale, right? There's the people who are never or like anti anything that has any level, like the woke list. We've got the woke list people. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which
We've
is
got
stupid.
those people. They're gonna be mad no matter what, right? Then you've got the people who are like, I only buy a game if it has gay, right? Like the either end of the spectrum, right? Most people I think are somewhere in the middle. So you can get maybe like 80 to 90% by just like not worrying about one of the ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a lot of people who don't play games that if it lacks representation. And I find that I find it fucking stupid.
I find it stupid from either end. If you won't buy a game because it has representation, or you won't buy a game because it doesn't have representation, I think both ends are stupid.
Exactly. Because you're depriving yourself of like what could be probably like a good game, but because it doesn't have the representation that you want, is dumb. And if like deprive yourself of a game because it has too much representation, is dumb. But let's look at the latter of things and like, compare the two. Games that have overrepresentation, where every fucking thing is a message, kills it. And I'm just like, I just don't want to touch that game. Me being a black man, I am tired of seeing fucking characters, especially in comics, just blackwashed. Yes, fucking blackwashed or gender swapped.
And it happens a lot for redheads.
Appease people.
I got race swapped in Grok actually. And
you a redhead?
Yeah. Well, it's my mom's a redhead.
Not.
My mom's a redhead, so I'm like half ginger. And so the curly hair is from the ginger side. And so it made me like Grok made me black.
What are you saying?
Grok made me black. So there was a prompt that it said for like Happy New Year, and you click it and it like adds a prompt into Grok, and it's like, yo, put me in a New Year's celebration, and it made me black. It's on Twitter if you want to see. I was like, what the fuck is this? You
gotta send it to me. You gotta send it to me.
And so for me, I'm like, it's taking the ginger part of me, which is where the curly hair comes from, and it's erasing it.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of see the red, like the sun's coming in. You can kind of see a little bit of.
No, I can't.
No, you can't.
No, I can't.
Oh, well, no,
there. You just look like a damn brunette.
Well, I am a brunette, but there's just like you can tell that I came from a ginger if you look hard enough. But
no, I can't.
Oh.
What is that? You can tell I'm ginger. Like how?
Because I have little bits of red in my hair, and then I have both fair and Asian skin. And if you know anything about complexion colors, which makeup artists do, they can tell more about like where I come from than most people because they've studied undertones. So I have both yellow and these like light ginger undertones that mix together, and it's really hard for me to get makeup that matches my skin. I'm serious. What? I burn really easily and I tan really easily because I have both.
Oh man.
Listen, it's a real thing. Anyway, the race washing is real because the gingers get taken every time. They just get taken out of the equation. Poor gingers.
Yeah, I don't like I don't like getting leftovers. I don't like getting leftovers. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's a fucking leftover. If you take a white character and make him black or a female or gay out of the blue, you just said, hey, I'm done with this. You can have it now. And being happy with it. You just got the leftovers, the scraps, and you're gonna be fucking happy with it. There's a whole bunch of black superheroes. There's a whole bunch of female superheroes that have not hit the big screen yet. We don't need stop changing
the magical
people's races.
Women in Marvel that you've mentioned.
Oh my god! Come to PAX. Please come to PAX. Please come to PAX because I'm just gonna.
Are you gonna sit me down and force me to watch Marvel movies?
No, I'm gonna sit you down. I'm just gonna just flick the shit out of you. Matt is gonna come back. There's like bruised and battered from like little flick marks. Every time I see her, I'm just gonna flick her right in her head. Like,
What do you
bam.
think that's gonna change? My Marvel opinions?
No, it's just gonna make me feel better.
Make you feel better.
It's gonna make me feel better because sometimes I just need to. Somebody's gonna take this out of context. I'm like, Della is such an abusive person. He abuses women. He wants to beat on Matt.
I've gotten to a point where it's like, go ahead, you know, like go ahead,
Go ahead
like,
and beat me.
No, well, maybe, but like go ahead. And, like go. Fucking, I'm tired, dude. Go if you're gonna do it, go do it. No, if you want to like try to take something out of context and like be a bitch about it, like if fucking go ahead. Like I've gained a confidence in the last few months because I've talked so much to stream about like my bullshit, and I'm like, I'm so tired of people ragging on me for every fucking thing I do on the internet. And they're like, well, we like you unless you pulled like the worst possible shit, and even then we'd probably still like you. Like it might be a small community, but it's a tight community. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
they get what we're about, and they get that we're all humans, and that I'm making shit because it's fun. And like, I might say shit all the time that could get taken out of context, blasphemy, fucking, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's like all of us do, you know? It's like, I'm just over it. I'm like, go ahead, go fucking ahead. I'm tired. I'm just still just gonna you're not gonna stop me. Like,
yeah, but when you have a context where it's like, oh, your male counterpart wants to physically hit you, and me being a black man in
hey, maybe
2025.
that's the clip that takes off, and then our podcast, you know, goes viral.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
One of these days, Matt, bam, zoom right to the fucking moon.
There we go. Done.
but we have to circle back to the whole Captain America thing. Why don't you like Captain America?
Well,
because he represents America and freedom.
No, because
what's good.
He represents like rule following fascism.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
You don't know Captain America then.
I don't like him.
No, you don't know him. Then you don't.
I've seen like one of the movies where he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it the right way." Like, fuck your right way.
What movie did you see?
Fucking rule follower.
Hold on.
And then they were all fighting him on it, and they were like, "We're gonna do it a different way."
So you watched Civil War?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I couldn't tell you.
Was Iron Man in it?
I've seen 2 times. Actually, it was one of the Avengers movies and one of his movies, and both times he was an annoying rule following fascist.
Okay. Take it easy there, Red Skull. But what was it? The Civil War movie where he had with the other was like other heroes fighting heroes? Was Iron Man in there and was Spider-Man in there?
Iron Man was.
So Spider-Man was in there too?
I don't think he was in that scene. I'm remembering Thor, I think. Maybe Iron Man.
That's Avengers movie.
I think there was a girl. Yeah.
There was there was a girl. There was a girl in there too. There's a girl in there. I remember.
It was. I told you there were 2 instances. One was an Avengers movie, and one was a
okay. He's not a fascist. He believes in doing what's right. You're correct in that. But he's not a complete rule follower. He's not a complete rule follower. He does what is right for the person, for people. That's not fascism. How is that fascism? Okay, I'm doing what I believe is right. Civil War. We're not even talking about the movie. We're talking about the comics. When the Superhero Registration Act went into it, he was like, "No, this is wrong."
Else all the time, yeah. At the expense of everything else, yeah. If it's all greater good all the time, then yeah, that's fascism.
It's not always greater good. It's what you are willing to sacrifice to achieve that greater good.
Yeah, and he like doesn't have any nuance, so I don't like him.
Yes, he does.
What he stands for is like the opposite of nuance.
He stands for the fucking American way, the American people, the red, white, and blue.
American way is freedom. American.
It is,
freedom.
Exactly.
He doesn't stand for freedom.
What he yes, he does.
That man is not freedom.
His name is Captain America.
Yeah, and he's not my America.
Yeah.
I tell you what. America.
He's not my America. You should put down this shirt. Please put down this shirt.
Oh, my stream hates me. When they get me on a Marvel rant, they hate me. Everybody who sees this is gonna hate me. It's fine. It's all right. I'm wearing Batman. It was the appropriate day for the shirt. I didn't even know. I didn't know this is what we talk about. Just happened.
Oh my god. you have to put that in a shirt. I just fucking realized something, and I hope I don't screw myself up. I have to get out of that office early. Okay. Put down the shirt, please. Not my America. Have Captain America's face and
Not
just
my.
with the cancer symbol, and it says "Not my America." Oh my god.
Listen.
That's this rich.
Fuck the greater
That's just
good.
rich.
Fuck the greater purpose.
Oh my
Freedom.
god. Well, I think that's all we got. You know, it's this week has it's a lot going on right now. Especially, I think the biggest thing right now is just the TikTok ban, and where do we go from here?
Do you think we're gonna see more people outside in a couple weeks? I mean, like when they get to that stage of the grieving
Shut up!
process, or
Shut up!
do you think?
Shut up! Shut up! Just shut up! No. Shut the fuck! Shut up! Shut up! Oh, people, you think? You think just because TikTok is banned, people won't go outside?
Maybe.
These people are going to stay in their fucking homes. They're already trolls, and they're going to find more things to be upset about. They're not fucking going outside. And they're already outside with the TikTok. Jesus Christ.
What are they going to replace it with?
Porn. Don't fucking know.
That's probably true. They probably will.
Porn.
What do you think the Venn diagram of is of like people who are addicted to TikTok and people who are addicted to porn? Do you think it's just a circle? Or?
That's a really good question. I mean, I've seen porn addicts, and they indulge like at least 80 hours of porn a day. So I don't know. I don't know, but I don't think people on TikTok are. I don't know. That's a really good question. What do you think?
I think it's a circle.
What's that?
I think it's just one circle.
It's just one circle. Like,
yeah, I think people who get like that addicted to stuff just 100%.
Well, any final words you would like to say?
Turn off your notifications. Free yourself.
Be free.
Be free.
Be free.
I'm getting a lot done this year. I freed myself from a lot of Twitter. I love Twitter, but I freed myself from any doom scrolling. I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, Matt said before we got on, she's taking her health back. She's starting to work out. Mm-hmm. She's like working on herself.
I'm in like the worst shape of my life right now, and like people don't believe me. They're like, I'm like, no, I'm like legitimately overweight and my clothes don't fit. Like I gotta fix this.
How many push-ups can you do?
Not a lot.
How many can you do?
I don't know. You
should try.
It's not a lot.
But what's not a lot? 2? 1.5?
I don't know.
Try. Today, how about this? The next time we meet, you got to at least be able to do at least, I'm going to say bare minimum, 3 push-ups. Okay. Not girl push-ups.
Regular push-ups. All right, I'll work on it this week. I'll do it every day on stream. You'll see.
Every day. Yeah. Every day. So by the end of, by next month, you got to be able to do at least 10 push-ups.
I'll work on it.
10 push-ups.
I did what's it called? Like upper back and here, like this morning. And bike. I've been running a lot, has been my main, because that like really can shave off the pounds pretty quickly. And it's just easy and free.
Well, running helps with burning calories, but for fat and everything, you have to gain muscle and then put your body in a calorie deficit.
Yeah. So that's why I'm doing weights too.
Yeah, so I hope to see if you do see you in May, you're gonna be big and brawly. So
I don't want to be big. I just want to be small again.
You want to have
I don't want to have
a girlish figure.
What?
You want to get your girlish figure?
I just want to be small. I just want to be the way I'm supposed to be. So nobody like.
What does that even mean?
I just want to fit into society very nicely so that I can be weird where I want to be weird. Does that make sense?
Mad, you're fine.
I don't want to I want people to look at me and be like, oh, she looks healthy, and that's pretty much it. That's the only thing I want in their brain. I think
people look at you and assume you're healthy already.
I'm a little overweight. I can say.
What's overweight to you?
If I went to the doctor right now and they weighed me and like said and did the whole thing, and I was like on a scale profile, like I would be on the overweight.
You'd be obese. You were like, I'm obese.
I'd be close, probably. Like the scale, the scale is very much like it's intense. I was overweight even when I was like a 00, dude. The scale's intense, or like close to it. The scale's intense because like your BMI, like my BMI was like 25 or something, and I was like a 00.
But that's all for insurance purposes and stuff. A lot of that stuff is
Crazy.
outdated. If you worry about that too much, it's gonna fuck with your brain.
Well,
Trust me.
it does. I don't have a scale, to be fair. I don't actually know how much I weigh until I like
So
go
buy
to the
a
doctor.
fucking scale. Jesus Christ.
No, I don't have a scale. I just know based on how my clothes fit and how I feel. So I feel a lot more
Okay,
like awake now.
buy
I've been working on it.
buy a scale so you could track your progress.
Oh no, I'm not buying a scale. I can track my progress by clothes. If I got a scale, I would be obsessive about it. I can't do that. It'd be very unhealthy for my mental health. I would check it every day. There's no way. I can't give myself that temptation.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing: your coffees, if it's not black, don't drink it.
Oh,
They
it's
gotta
always
be
black.
No sugars.
Nope.
Just
This
black.
had a little sugar, but this is a treat. I don't drink these very often. I just hadn't made my green drink before we started. So.
All right. Well, you want to do the outro? Do it. Do it. Do it.
You should like and subscribe.
Like you said, like and subscribe. Okay. Stay up to date with us, and be sure hit the notification button so you know when a new episode drops. All right. I'm Delacroix.
I'm mad curious.
And we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.